Hey, what's up guys? So I made a list of 20 hints and tips and subtleties and utility moves that can greatly enhance your card magic. In this video I'm going to show you 5 of them, so this will be part 4 of a 4-part series. I know, that's the last one. If you missed 1, 2, and 3, I'll leave the links down below to where you can watch those. Let me know in the comments if you want to see 20 more and I'll see what I can do. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so my first tip is how to really get good and practice your pinky count. And for this, what you want to do is a lot of people have trouble with it because they're really not doing it correctly. And because they really try to put a lot of pressure down with their pinky on the corner there. They really try to use a lot of muscle, right? But that's the wrong technique. What you want to do is really be relaxed and comfortable and just have a soft touch. And what really also helps is beveling the deck. So what you can do is take your pinky and sort of just push the deck towards the base of your thumb like this. That way you're creating a really sort of nice bevel like this. You can see that, right? So once you have that nice bevel, it just takes a soft touch, just like that. And it's really just squeezing with the base of your thumb and your pinky, and those cards sort of just pop up naturally like that. You can get it really easy with that soft touch. So here's a pretty cool way to practice your count. It's a really cool trick, and it's out of Peter Duffy's Effortless Card Magic, and it's called Girdwood meets St. Nicholas. Here's what it looks like. So we have the 2 jokers here, and if I turn them face down and snap my fingers, we get an ace in between them. I'll do it again slow. So watch, we have the 2 jokers, and watch, nothing in between them. If I turn them face down like this, give it a snap, we get one more ace right in between there. Watch, this time I won't even touch the deck. Give them a shake, they actually turn into those black aces. Alright, so to set this up, you'll take a black ace, put a red ace on top of it, a black ace face up, put a red ace on top of it. So you have the 2 black aces face up, with the red aces in between face down. Next, you take the jokers, put them on top, and that's your setup. Alright, so to start off, you show the jokers like this, and as you're talking, maybe you have the jokers have magical properties and they can find cards or whatever. You're getting a break under the 2 top cards with your account, that's boom boom. And then you pick the jokers up, put them face up on top, and then turn all 4 cards over like this, and now you'll have a face up ace in between them. So you just put that there, and then you proceed to the next step, which is getting a break under the single top card like this. You can either do a count right here for the 1 card, or you can just do a push off. It doesn't really matter, but just for the sake of practice, just go ahead and do the count. All right. So at this point, you'll have a joker and an ace. So what we'll do is put them both face down on top, turn all 3 over. That way you can show the aces like this. Say, look, I'll do it slow this time, and you can turn your hand over like this. Say there's nothing in between. As you're doing that, you pop off 2 cards, boom, boom. That way when you come over, square them up on top, turn all 4 over. Right, this way you can show that ace face up, put that there. Now at this point, they will already be the aces. All right, so see, this time I'll do without touching the deck, give them a shake, and then boom, boom, they're the aces. So this next item is a really impossible location of a card, and it's called The First Miracle by Ed Marlowe. So what you do is you want to give the deck a sort of downward bend like this, all right? And a good way to do that without being, sus about it, is just do a waterfall flourish like this. That way you have your bend in the cards naturally. So now what you do is you spread the cards on the table like this, and you have your spectator peek at a card, and you instruct them to not take it out all the way, just to take it out halfway and peek at it. So what they're going to do naturally is do this. They take it out and they do this, and they peek at it, and what they're doing is they're putting an upward bend in it this time, right? So you ask them to close the deck up, and when you take it back, you can easily spot that card that has an upward bend, and it's right there. So all you do now is you just cut to it like this, either to the top or to the bottom, your choice, and that's the location. And from here you can do whatever you want. So you can give the deck a slip shuffle to keep it on the bottom, and then you do a pop out move, or anything you want to do amongst millions of ideas. So here's your pretty cool key card placement by Harry Lorraine. I've added a pretty sneaky card control to it as well. So here's what you do. You have your key card on top of the deck, which is the ace of spades always for me, so I always remember it. And what you can do is you can do a peek if you're right-handed. I'm not, it doesn't work that way. But if you're left-handed, you can just do a dribble, have them say stop, and they see the card, but in this case it'll be the 2 of diamonds. You can put it back on like this, keeping your jog. And then you just get a break below it, and what you do here is you cut about half of the cards above the break. So to the table, that key card is right there on top of that pile. Next you cut to the break, that puts their card on top of your key card, right? You cut again and cut again, making it look like you're mixing the deck up. But we know that their card is somewhere near the bottom next to our key card, right? So you have them cut the deck like this, and now what you do, you spread the deck like this, maybe about a third of the deck, and you say, look, do you see your card anywhere in these cards? And they will, because it's right there on top of our key card. So when you're doing this, you say, look, do you see your card anywhere? And what you want to do is call their card as you're spreading the cards like this. Do you see your card anywhere? They do. And as you get to the end, you just turn the cards over, and that puts their card on top of the deck. So now you can just put the deck down and say, focus on your card, do a magical gesture, snap, and then their card is on top. So here's a cool pop-out move that I came up with. It's not published, it doesn't have a name. It's just something cool you can do for Instagram or something like that. Alright, so a card is selected, the 3 of hearts, it gets lost back somewhere in the middle, maybe right about there. And that was about maybe halfway, but if I give it a little light touch, it just pops out like this, 3 of hearts. Alright, so what you want to do for this is have a card selected, in this case the 5 of spades, and you want to make it to where it becomes side jogged in the deck when you return it. So maybe something like this. You can see that it's side jogged there with your hand hiding it. Or what we can do is a really cool Bill Simon touch where you put the card in sideways like this, and then starting from the back, you take your thumb, push it in, and square it up like that, like this, and it gets side jogged like that, you can see. And a little exposed view on that. So the card starts here. You can see as I start to push it in, it just gets side jogged automatically like that. So to pop the card out, what you do is you set the deck like this, and from this side they can't see that side jogged card, which is nice. So I'll do it to where you can see it. So the card is here, and you take your ring finger and contact the corner of that card like this. And what you do is you squeeze like this, and what's going to happen is all the cards above that card is going to come up like this. That way you're only holding that card plus all the cards above it. Alright, so once again you come over, contact that card with your ring finger like this on the corner. You give it a squeeze like this, and you have all the cards above it plus that bold card on the bottom there. So what you do is you just have the card spring off of your thumb here like this. So it also helps if you just have maybe the tip of your thumb there, and then when you do that, it just sort of pops out. You can get a pretty good distance if you want to by putting more pressure with your ring finger like this. So my final tip for today is something that I've said before, but I'll say it again. You need to read this book, Expert Card Technique. If you read this book and really study it, you can really fool a lot of magicians. Because guess what? Nobody reads it. We all have it. That looks good in our library. We just never pick it up because, well, we think that we're too good to read simple books. So I'll show you 2 things from this book, and it's things that not many people do or know about, and it might actually fool you. Alright, so let's have a card selected. In this case, it will be the Jack of Diamonds. We'll put it back somewhere in the middle, right about there. And you can see it's not on top. It's not even second from top or third from top. Heck, it's not even on the bottom anywhere. It is, in fact, somewhere in the middle because that's where I put it, right? But watch. If I take that card, invisibly turn it face up, toss it back in, if that really happened, that would mean that the card is really face up in the middle. So that's called the automatic reverse, and this is how it happens. So a card is selected and controlled second from the top, alright? So what you're going to do is show the top card and cards after that, and saying that it's not on top or anywhere near the top, right? So what you're going to do is show the top card, and as you're doing that, you get a break under the next top card, like this, their card, and then you put that on top, and then you pick both cards up as one, saying that's not on top, not second from top. So now you're holding 2 cards back to back, which is their card. Pick both cards up like this, not third from top. Then you just square these up, turn them over, resulting in their card being face up now. So you turn the deck over, face up, saying it looks on the bottom, not near the bottom, but somewhere in the middle. In this gesturing action, you just cut the deck. That centralizes their card face up, and that is your reverse. Alright, so here's something else from the book that you might like. So let's say we have two spectators, and they each chose a card. Let's say the two red aces, alright? But you never know that. You never look at them, alright? So you take them back, you put them in the middle right about here, and you can really show them that they're in the middle. And you can push them in flush right about there, and give the deck a few cuts if you want to, just to really mix them up. And you can show that they're not on the bottom or the top. We have the 8 of spades, and we have on top, we have the 9 of clubs. So what we can do here is sort of give them a little wave like this, and they actually turn into both selections. Alright, so that is the automatic jog, and here's how you do it. So you take the two selections, and you show them like this in a little fan. And what you want to do is riffle down the deck, and put one, insert the first one in there from the fan, and then riffle off your thumb like this, a card. That way a card gets in between them as you put them in. So you do that, and when you push them both in flush, you're going to execute the plunger principle. It happens automatically, and what you do is you push them in, and one card gets in jog like that by itself. So what you can do is you lift up on that in jog, that way you have a break below it. You can just do a double undercut like this, and that way now you have one selection on top, and the other one second from the bottom. So from here you can do anything, and what I did is I just did a simple change where I showed the bottom card, did a glide, pretend like I was taking the bottom card, really it's the ace, and then did a double lift, showing that it's not on top either, jack of diamonds, turn it over, and it did this, and they both are now the selections. Alright, so that's it. It's been real fun, and like always, I hope you learned something new from these. So until next time, happy practicing. I love you guys.